Good afternoon, and today we want to look at how to identify digital skills to learn in 2025. There are skills that were relevant in the past, but this is 2025 and they are no longer relevant. So, in this short video, we'll be looking at which skills you can learn and how to choose these skills. All right, but let's start with the first part, which is why you should take up a digital skill. Now, number one, here we have flexibility and time and space management. Now, when you take up digital skills, you have the time and space to do a few other things. It's not like it's not as tedious as just so you have to commute to a location, but digital skills provide that opportunity for you to work from home, such that that time you used to commute and come home to rest, you could chip in on to one or two other things to do. So it gives you flexibility in time and also space management. You can travel wherever you want to go to as long as you are online and you are close to your devices. The next one is career path. Now there are people who have to do some things to make money while they pursue their career. For instance, let's say I am a career speaker and my speaking journey is just commencing. I'm not established yet. I can take up a skill as a community manager, a content writer, a copywriter, so that gives me the opportunity to make money while I develop my career. The third part rather, is reduce cost and risk of commuting. Now, commuting in several countries of the world takes some amount of money, and when you add that to your expenses for the month, it takes a considerable amount of money from your salary. However, with digital skills, you can save yourself some money, and also in some unsafe areas of the world, save you the risk of accidents, kidnaps, or robbery that people experience while going to their place of work. Then, lastly, why you should take up a digital skill? It gives you opportunity for skill stacking. So, let's say you are a content writer, you will have the time, or you may have the time to add up other skills because everything is done online. Now, we've talked about why you should pick up a digital skill. Now let's look at how to choose one. We cannot categorically say this here is what you can choose, but we can help you solve that confusion by teaching you how to choose a skill. Now let's look at the first criteria that help you know which skill is best for you. Now the learning pathway. The learning pathway is learning pathway talks about the availability of learning resources. Okay, so how available are the resources that you can use to learn the skill you want? And when we talk about availability, we are talking about the affordability and the access to tutorials, the community needed for support and learning. Then the second thing you want to look at in your learning pathway is difficulty level. There are some courses that you don't need any background knowledge, or there are some skills you don't need much background knowledge to go into. For instance, as long as you can type and you can read, you can write, you can step into um, caption writing for social media. It's easy to learn. However, if you want to learn something like coding and all that, it may take more time. All right, may need background knowledge or foundational knowledge or some things for you to excel in those skills. So you want to look at the difficulty level. And the third one here is required time investment. Do you have the time it takes? Do you have the luxury of time needed to learn that skill? There are some skills that takes a few weeks to learn. There are some skills that take years. For instance, machine learning and all that may take several months for you to become good at it. However, there's some skills like graphic design that takes a few weeks for you to become good. So this is what you want to look at in learning pathway. You look at the availability. Do you have the resources? Are they affordable? Difficulty level? Is it easy to learn? Is it difficult to learn? It's not like you have to run for the difficult ones, but you need to know what you are getting into. You also look at the required time investment. Now let's look at the second criteria you need to look at while picking a course. Now look at the market access. When we look at market access, I want to talk about the demand. Is there a strong demand for that skill you want to learn? Okay. Is there a strong demand for it in the job market or the freelance platform? Okay, it's simple. When you get paid because you meet a demand, All right. So, but if the demand is not there, that means the competition will be tough, and the tougher the competition, the more difficult it is for you to get opportunities, and that leads us to opportunities. Can the skill be used across several industries? For instance, people who write, write content, website content, they are needed across several industries, because whether you're in finance, you're in health, you are in business, different economics or different industries need this skill. So you want to look at that skill. Is it the skill that is tied to one niche, or a skill that can be used across board? Then lastly, for the market access, you want to look at, are there entry barriers? Like there are some skills that require certifications, and there are some skills that require less certifications. There are some skills that require in the network. Okay, because a friend was talking to me the other day, and he said there's a level of data analytics, analytics opportunities that are reserved for a reserved network. Okay, because they don't want to give these jobs to anyhow people or people from anywhere just like that. They want to be sure, right, who they are giving this, because the person will be handling critical information about their company. So you want to look at the entry barrier. So market access, we're looking at demand. Is there demand for the skill? You want to learn opportunities. How vast are the opportunities? In how many places? In how many times? How many people can you serve with the opportunity, that skill? And thirdly, is there an entry barrier for that skill? Now I want to look at the last part in choosing the right skill. The financial prospect. Is there an income ceiling? Okay. Is there an income ceiling? This talks about the average pay range or the freelance rate for that skill. There are some skills that pay higher than others. For instance, you can't expect someone to although it happens in business when you serve people who are richer, right? But then on the average level, you can't expect someone who writes maybe copywriting, sales copy, to be paid less than someone who develops captured for Instagram stories or Instagram videos. Okay. However, like I said, there are always some in certain instances. All right. However, there's income ceiling for skills. So ask around. Am I comfortable with this income ceiling? Then you want to look also at the scalability. Can the skill be turned into a business? Or can it be turned into a product? There are some skills that can be turned into a product. For instance, if you learn coding, for instance, and no one employs you, you could create your own website and sell your own products. Okay, or you could develop your own app. If you don't find anyone to develop an app for, you could develop your own app and it turns to a product. Okay, if you are an online tutor and no one is employing you, you could find your own products and begin to tutor, right? So now that's for scalability. Then the last part here is the job security, and it talks about the futuristic potential of that skill. There are some skills that may become obsolete with time. So you want to ask yourself, will this skill become obsolete with time? So these are the things you want to look at in identifying the right course for you. Okay, so if you have any other questions in finding digital skills, don't forget to get back to me. I train in copywriting, I train content writers, and I train also persuasive selling. All right, so get back to me if you have any other questions, and don't forget to subscribe to this account, to subscribe to this channel for more content like this. Thank you.